All right, so when looking to go on a diet, many people talk about the foods they eat, but when you eat it, how many meals you eat per day is also very important. So, should we be eating 3 meals a day, 4 meals, 5 meals, 6 meals, 2 meals, 1 meal? What should we be doing? For weight loss, especially weight loss, but even in general, I recommend 3 meals at 3 meals per day, not six. So, let me explain why. 3 meals a day is essential at most. You could even cut it down to two if you're comfortable with that. But 2 to 3 meals a day is essential for weight loss. Now, why? If we're eating 5 to 6 times per day, our insulin levels are always going to be up, no matter what we eat. Whenever we eat, we secrete insulin. Doesn't matter if we're eating the fattest foods, butter, or the foods with the most carbs. We're always secreting insulin. Now, obviously, carbs are way more detrimental to raising your insulin levels, especially refined carbs, than fats. But so we don't want to raise insulin. Why? Well, in the presence of even a little bit of insulin, we're going to accumulate fat, and we're not going to be able to burn our own fat. So that's why we want to keep insulin lower, as low as possible on a weight, if we're looking for weight loss. And just like it's important to, like I was saying, it's important what you eat. So if you're eating 3 meals a day, but you're still eating carbs, refined carbs, your levels are still going to be high. So we want to eat high fats, very low carbs. For weight loss, very low carbs, as low as possible. We don't need carbs. There's zero essential carbs. So don't think that you need carbs. People will say, oh, you need you don't need any carbs. There are, however, essential fats and essential proteins. So we want to we're going to get carbs in our diet no matter what we eat. I mean, it's pretty much impossible to eat zero carbs. So you're still going to get carbs, but got to keep those as low as possible. And people will say, well, how am I supposed to eat only 3 times a day and no sugar? Like, I'm going to be hungry, right? I'm going to have cravings. No, you're not. Because fat is way more filling than carbs. It has a lower glycemic index, so you could use it as energy over the course of 4, 5, 6 hours. And number two, with eating healthy, we're going to eat a lot of vegetables, and we want to make sure that we get our 4,700 milligrams RDA of potassium per day, because that will reduce your cravings. Potassium is big for reducing sugar and refined carb cravings. And like I said, I actually think it's easier to eat 3 meals a day than it is to just graze all day. Because you're not going to have to worry about being full or being hungry throughout the whole day. Like if you have work or you have school, you're not going to be hungry when you're in class or you're in work and you're not on your lunch break. And if you're eating 5 or 6 times a day, you have to plan out 5 to 6 times to eat, a little bit every 5 or 6 times per day. With this, you could plan when you're going to have your 3 meals, just three. So you're basically cutting in half the amount of times you're eating. So you could say, and I'll get to this in a little bit, but 10, 3, 5, or 10, 3, 8 p.m. 5 hours in between meals, for example. It doesn't have to be exactly that, but let me get on to the next point because it relates. So breakfast, there's a debate over it. A lot of people say you have to eat right when you get up because you got to have energy for your day. Other people say you shouldn't be eating breakfast. Well, which is it? I'm a big believer, especially if you're a healthy person. You're a healthy weight. You don't have any risk factors for diabetes or anything like that. Listen to your body. If you're hungry, eat. Eat at 9 in the morning or 10. If you're not, wait till 11 or 12. And it could vary from day to day. Our bodies are complex, so listen to your body with that. Now, if you have insulin resistance, you're probably going to be more hungry naturally because your insulin's not able to deliver energy. So that's a different issue. But if your body's telling you, I'm hungry, it needs food, it needs nutrition, it needs energy to run. So eat. If you're not, just wait till you're hungry and then eat, and then wait probably about 4, 5, 6 hours in between meals. And the last thing I want to talk about is intermittent fasting, a very popular trend. Now this kind of similar to that. Intermittent fasting says you're only allowed to eat for like 8 hours per day or 6 or 4. I'm more comfortable doing this. I think it's just kind of hard to wait that long because like some people say, oh, you're only allowed to eat from like 2 to 10. And that's being pretty lenient. Some people are way more strict. But no matter what you do, whether it's this or this, you got to make sure you're eating a lot of fats. Because I tried this about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago in high school when I wasn't as smart. And I wasn't paying attention to the carbs, and I was probably eating a lot of carbs. And I was just so hungry, and I couldn't do it. So it all comes back to this. If you're not eating healthy, this isn't going to work, and that's not going to work. And that's what a lot of people say. Oh, I can't eat 3 meals a day. I'm going to be hungry. I have cravings. Yeah, because you're not eating the right foods. Those refined carbs go right through you. Even regular carbs, which are not bad. I say that as long as you're not, you don't have diabetes or pre-diabetes and you're not obese or overweight or trying to lose weight, then it's okay to eat a little bit of carbs. It's okay to eat some beans or some rice or, just some carbs, nutrient-dense, whole carbs, unrefined. You never want to eat refined carbs though, but so that's the key though. That's you got to eat healthy or it's not going to work. That's the number one priority is to eat healthy. Number 2 is when you eat. That comes secondary. So we got to eat at the right times though. So we don't have high insulin throughout the entire day. And like I said, I think it's easier to follow this diet than it is to follow your typical low-calorie diet, because a lot of times that leaves people feeling hungry. They're not satisfied with low calories. Calories is just energy. Our body needs energy to run. So you gotta fuel it, and the best fuel for it, especially if you're trying to lose weight, is healthy fats. Fat does not make fat, people. Get that out of your mind. I know that's, it's so simple, right? It seems so, no, our bodies are way more complex than that. There's actually a process called, I think it's denipolipogenesis, where excess carbs turn to fat. And also, too, when your body uses insulin, it creates a byproduct called glycerol. And guess what glycerol makes? Triglycerides. So carbs are not great, and especially for weight loss. I cannot stress that enough. No refined carbs. I'm always watching those Weight Watchers commercials, and they say, oh, you can eat that spaghetti and the pizza. No, you can't. Don't do that. If you're losing weight with Weight Watchers, it's probably because you're restricting your calories and you're losing probably muscle mass or water. And most people, like I said, it's hard to stay on those diets because you're just so hungry. Your metabolism's going to drop. You're going to run out of energy. You're going to be tired. This keeps your metabolism at a healthy point. It keeps you full. You're going to lose weight over the long run, not just over a few months, years. I'm talking. If you keep this diet up, it's not hard to follow compared to low calorie. It might be hard because it's a big change. Changing what you eat is a big change, but it's a journey, but it's much easier than low calorie. So there's just some tips on eating 3 meals a day, eating the right foods, and it will result in weight loss if you do it correctly. So thank you very much.